All right, conventional deadlifting tutorial. So to start off, most important thing you're gonna wanna know is how to brace. The way that I like to teach how to brace is you put your hand on your chest, other hand on your stomach, and you're gonna wanna first clear out your airways, and then after that, you're gonna breathe in about 70% just into your stomach. So your hand on your chest shouldn't rise, it should just be your stomach. So, right there. And then you bear down, flex your abs, hold everything in your abdomen, hold pressure, and then while you're deadlifting, you're gonna wanna hold that the whole time. So let's get set up. For conventional, you're gonna wanna have your feet about shoulder width apart. They can be in a little more. Any further out than shoulder width, and it's just gonna make you push more towards sumo, be a little weird. So do about shoulder width. And then the way I like to set up on the bar is put the end of my shoelaces looking straight down in the middle of the bar. Obviously have your feet even with each other. But yeah, so you're gonna want the bar about mid-foot. And then when you go down, I like to go down with my legs straight. And then you grab just outside of shoulder width, so just outside of where your feet are, so that your arms aren't gonna run into your knees too much. I like to grab just about where the knurling is. And then you can either do hook grip, which I'm not gonna teach that right now, but switch grip is the easier thing to learn. So one hand over, one hand under, whichever's comfortable. Then from here, you're gonna wanna wedge. And so first we're gonna brace before we wedge with our legs straight. So drop your shoulders down after you brace, wedge in the bar like this. And you're not gonna wanna make it a squat motion. Some people wedge too far down, as I've noticed. So you're gonna wanna wedge just exactly to where it's comfortable. And the way to figure out where that is first you're gonna wanna pull some light weight and see if your hips rise when you pull. If your hips pop up and then you start pulling, especially if you've noticed that with heavier, more challenging weight, what you're gonna wanna do is play around until you find a position where you're wedging to exactly where your hips will stop rising when you start pulling, and that's the right position for your body. So let's just do this. And then you wanna think, push the hips forward under the bar, so you're shooting into the bar. Not pulling it straight up, you're shooting into it. All right, and that's how you conventional deadlift.